Welcome back to the Narcissism Freedom Channel. Or, if this is your first time here, I am truly glad you found this space. Here, we speak truth, healing, and spiritual empowerment for those who have endured the painful storm of narcissistic abuse. This is a place where your voice is valued, your healing is honored, and your journey is respected. Today, we are exploring the timeless truth behind the phrase, "What goes up must come down," and how it unfolds in the life of a narcissist in ways they never anticipate or prepare for. When you have dealt with a narcissist, you know they move through life as though the rules simply do not apply to them. They operate with an unshakable confidence in their ability to manipulate, deceive, and control the people around them. They rise on the backs of others, using charm when it suits them, cruelty when necessary, and calculated deceit at every turn to build their image. They climb higher and higher, fueled by pride and ego, often convincing themselves that their position is permanent, that their power is limitless, and that no one will ever be able to bring them down. But life has a way of balancing the scales, and the higher they build their tower on lies, the harder and more devastating the fall will be. The phrase, "What goes up must come down," is not only a physical truth, it is a spiritual principle deeply woven into the very fabric of creation. We see it in nature, where the seasons shift without fail, where the tide rises and then recedes, and where the sun sets after it has risen high in the sky. We see it in human history, where empires rise in glory but eventually crumble into dust. God himself warns that pride comes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. This is not just poetic language, it is a divine promise of justice. There is a point when the false light of a narcissist begins to dim, because what is built on lies and exploitation cannot stand forever. The carefully curated mask they wear begins to crack, sometimes slowly, and other times all at once. The relationships they exploited start to crumble under the weight of truth. The people they once deceived begin to see through the illusion. The same systems they once manipulated turn against them, and the trust they once leveraged becomes a weapon they can no longer wield. Sometimes their fall is public and humiliating, a spectacle for everyone to witness. Other times, it is private, eating away at them from within until they are left in quiet ruin. But no matter the form, it is always inevitable. The universal law of sowing and reaping ensures that whatever harm they have poured into the lives of others will eventually return to them. This is not something you have to force, manipulate, or even predict. It is a truth that unfolds in its own time. The fall may not happen on your timeline, and it may not look like the dramatic ending you once imagined, but it will happen in the way that leaves the deepest, most lasting impact on them. That is why your role is not to chase revenge or demand justice on your own terms, but to stand still and allow God to be the one who balances the scales. The beauty in this truth is that you do not have to exhaust yourself trying to prove their guilt, expose their lies, or force their downfall. You can live in peace, knowing that what they have sent into the world will find its way back to their doorstep, and when it does, they will not be able to outrun it. For many survivors, the hardest part of this journey is trusting that the fall will actually come, especially when it appears that the narcissist is thriving long after they have left chaos in your life. But remember, even in scripture, Pharaoh looked powerful for a season. His pride, cruelty, and resistance to God's will gave him the illusion of control. Yet the moment came when God brought his reign to a sudden, undeniable end, and the oppressed were freed. Just because you do not see immediate consequences does not mean they are not already in motion. Sometimes the delay is a key part of their undoing, because it allows them to rise higher in arrogance before the fall takes them lower than they ever thought possible. In those moments when you feel discouraged, remind yourself that the laws of God and the order of the universe cannot be bent forever. The truth will rise to the surface. The lies will crumble into dust. And the narcissist will eventually face the reality they have spent years trying to avoid. Their fall is not your burden to orchestrate. It is a natural and spiritual certainty. Your healing journey is not about standing on the sidelines, waiting for their collapse, but about walking forward into your own freedom. When you release the need to see the downfall with your own eyes, you step fully into the life God has prepared for you, a life no longer defined by their control, their falsehoods, or their presence. The fall will happen not because you wished for it, but because it is the way of things. And when it does, it will be a moment that teaches them lessons far deeper than anything you could have ever delivered yourself. If you feel led to support the growth and awareness of this channel, the details are below in the description. Your support helps us continue to bring content that uplifts, educates, and empowers survivors of narcissistic abuse. Thank you for being part of this community, for valuing the work we do together, and for helping to spread hope to those who need it most. And as always, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so that others can also find the encouragement and truth they need.